Hi everybody, it's Barry here from Turning the Page again, and it's just so good to be with you again and share some thoughts about some topics about mental health and spiritual formation. Today's topic is about anger, and it's probably not a topic that we like to talk about because it's something that we often feel out of control, and it's an expression, and we can hurt people, and it can be quite a tough topic. But often why you get so angry can actually give you a clear direction about who you truly are. And it's a matter of the heart. And your anger indicates actually what you most care about. I remember being with someone, and as they became more whole in themselves, the anger started to simmer and then boil, and then it flowed out of the containment of their life. It was, in a frightening way, beautiful and actually needed to happen. Anger can be highly destructive, can't it? But flowing out without constraint can damage and burn. We all have this capacity to pour out our emotions of being hurt, mistreated, and abused. Some of the deepest hurts come from those we are actually in closest relationship to. Those who we would hope and expect to know our hearts, and are often the ones who will not listen and show love and respect to those tender places of the heart. I think of the tender patterns we set up so young to defend that tender heart. A little bruise here, and a little slight, and we begin to build a fortress. I remember talking to someone who said, "No one is ever going to hurt me like that again." And so often we say that, don't we? In so many different ways. I'm never going to be hurt like that again. And if that small inner child ever gets a poke or a prod, then out comes the angry army. I get hurt, I get angry, I don't want my anger to overflow and burn up the relationships I hold dear. Yes, those close to me may trigger an unbearable feeling, and I want to lash out in response, but I, as an adult, of course, have to take responsibility for myself. My response is my responsibility. So it's important to understand what is under the fury and the fire of your anger that is causing you to explode. Perhaps if we look at gender differences between men and women, we might find a clue. Well, for an angry man, the chief fear of a man is that he is actually weightless, that there is nothing substantial or powerful about him, that he is not going to make much difference in his world, in his relationship, particularly with women, and with the children he has and his friends. The lies he says to himself are, "I'm useless, I never do anything right, everything I do I fail in." Every man I've talked to with has a common theme. Every angry man, a loss of respect. They want it from those they care about, but when it is not given, they demand, cajole, and try harder to win approval. They want someone to see and acknowledge their purpose, even though they may dismiss it themselves. The question to ask is, how has their purpose been dismissed? And in the blog post, I've actually got a link about how to understand men. What about an angry woman? Well, the chief fear of a woman is undesirability. At the core of a woman's being, they ask, is there anything desirable about me? If a man really saw me, would he want me? Would he find me desirable? Not as a sex partner, but would he find me desirable at all? The lies they say to themselves are, I am ugly, both externally and internally. No one loves me, I have no beauty. Every angry woman I've talked with has a common theme, a loss of love. They want to have it from those they care about, but when it is not given, they demand, cajole, and try harder to win love. They want someone to see and acknowledge their inner beauty, even though they may dismiss it themselves. And the question to ask is, how has their beauty been dismissed or tarnished? I've got a link to read more about that in the blog post. But what is it about the heart, that seat of the emotions, which is crucial to our well-being? We sing about it, We draw heart-shaped images, we get flowers, and so desire for it to be touched in delicate, meaningful ways. I wonder what your heart is like. What shaped its tenderness or toughness? What is it like for your heart to be known, explored, discovered and touched? Perhaps the fire of anger could be the signal that something of that little inner child within you wants attention. And as you explore yourself and an awareness of injustice is growing and needs to be acknowledged and heard, you begin to see that the heart could have been treated with love and respect, but it wasn't. The injustice of it all is like kindling to a fire, waiting for a spark. What would it have been like to have been listened without harsh judgment? With no parent figure dismissing your feelings or telling you to shut up. And then one comes with the gift of empathy, and that's offered to you. Wisdom is shared about how we live in an unjust world, unfair world, but we actually also have a God of justice, mercy and grace. Oh, look, for a friend that will listen and sit with the heart of a hurting man or woman, girl or boy. So it's quite a mystery to me about how the heart changes. Mystical in the sense that it seems that there is disorderly dance to this disorderly order to this dance. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, and things begin to move. It's poetry, not formulas and facts. Larry Crabb writes that about a book. In Successful Psychotherapy, A Caring and Loving Relationship, psychologists C.H. Patterson and Hidor admit that psychotherapy is in chaos. Their solution is worth a second look. Professional helping efforts, they suggest, should abandon identifying specific diagnosable disorders and coming up with specific technical plans. They should instead focus on one simple yet profound idea. Now this is amazing. The essence of all psychotherapy is love. Isn't that amazing? Underneath it all, it's love. When we are angry, we need love. And it's a kind of love that has learned to listen for the pain under the fury. Look, I don't like anger. I especially don't like people angry with me. But with every emotion, it has an invite. What pushes your buttons? There is something at the core of your being that is wildly good and beautiful. It has a purpose and a power to change your world, and my world. Yet most of us are hardly aware of it. It is like a small seed, a mustard seed, that is waiting to be sown, to germinate and grow. Yet, we get angry when that mustard seed is mistreated, threatened, overlooked, despised. And when love comes to town, it waters that seed and stimulates the growth. Look, I've seen it in many, many people. A little encouragement, an affirmation here and there, some praise, and that beautiful heart starts to sing a new song. That seed starts to grow. But it's that tender shoot that a few brutal words can so easily cut down. How do we grow out of our bruises? Well, I think you have to become aware of your unique self. As you look in your heart, what do you hold valuable and precious? What is it about you that is delightfully different from others? A clue might be found in where you get triggered. What is significantly and uniquely special about you? As Dr. Zeus would say, there is no one newer than you. Number 2, you need to draw a line around you. It's a line of love and respect. Some people call this a boundary, but in a deeper way, it's a line where you define who you are and who you're not. This is me. I have these beliefs and values. And you may want to actually draw a picture, a stick diagram, and define who you are. Number 3 is you protect. Some people don't show any love or respect for your youer than you self. They can be like a bull in a china shop, wrecking and destroying with every mindless swish of tail. not noticing your beauty and purpose, not caring. So you protect. You don't let any old person into that precious place of dreams and hopes. You assess their safety. Are they safe to have in your land of beauty and passion? Intimacy, intimacy, is a gift, not a right. The power to protect is actually in your hands. You only let those in that have demonstrate a safe pair of hands. And your anger is a symptom of a violation of the line. So then you wonder, where has your heart been violated? Number 4, you nurture and heal. That angry place, that sore bruise or wound deserves special loving attention. You are kind to yourself, and as a wise and loving parent, you speak words of kindness and compassion to that small inner child that is hurt. As someone who knows you better than anyone else, you are the one that knows you better than anyone else. You speak what needs to be heard. You tell yourself kindness and compassion. Number 5 is you learn from the bruises. Look, how have the bumper car experiences of life shaped your direction? Which way have they knocked you? Perhaps it's time to actually take the steering wheel yourself and drive your own life. One of the greatest gifts we can give to each other is to gently explore the youer than you nature of each other. And when you or your friend get angry, it's an invite to help define what's inside the lines of love and respect. In summary, your anger can indicate what you hold most dear. Why you get so angry can give you a clear direction about who you truly are. It's a matter of the heart. Here's some quotes for you to think about. Today you are youer than you. Today you are you. That is truer than true. There is no one alive that is youer than you. Dr. Seuss. I have learned to use my anger for good. Without it, we would not be motivated to rise to a challenge. It is an energy that compels us to define what is just and unjust. Gandhi. Believe it or not, no one can actually make you angry. You choose your own reaction so quickly, it's hard to believe you did it by yourself. David Riddell. Some questions to consider. If you were to draw a picture of yourself, what words and sentences would you write inside yourself about who you are? Number 2, when you last got angry, what in your heart got triggered? Number 3, what would it be like to be known, explored, discovered, and touched? Hey, if you've got a problem with anger, start to dig a little bit deeper. Start to go a bit into what's triggering this response. Listening to your heart, who you uniquely are. I'd love to hear from you. You can email me at barry@tuningthepage.co.nz. I just really enjoy hearing from my readers and my listeners and my viewers. And if you want to be part of my support team, because I need people who can support what I'm doing here, prayerfully but also financially, perhaps you'd like to come over to tuningthepage.co.nz/support, and you can find a whole range of ways that you can give a little bit into what I'm doing here and helping people all over the world with their mental health and their spiritual formation. Hey, until next time, may God go with you and grace and peace to you. Bye.